So, what did I miss? Hi, my name is Frank. It's Friday. Time to kick back, talk music. I've been gone for a month. This is my first video I've recorded and posted since December. So thank you very much for coming back and tuning in once again. I know for myself, if I don't watch a particular YouTube channel for a couple of weeks, it just stops showing up on my recommendations, which kind of sucks. So for that reason, I really am appreciative of the fact that you're all back. So one of the cool things that did happen to me during the break is I got an email from a local reporter at the local broadsheet newspaper, Dave Sanderson. And he said, "Hey, Frank, can I do an article about you and about Channel 33 RPM for the newspaper?" So, of course, you're going to say yes to an opportunity like that. Anyway, it was in the weekend edition just recently, and it was way more than I expected. You got to check this out. It's pretty incredible, really. I was expecting a small article, and it was this huge two-page spread. You can see right there, the headline is "Giving It a Spin." There's a photo of me. The reporter, Dave, came down here. Then a photographer came down and took some pics. And it's most of this page of the paper as well. And it kind of talks about how I got into music as a kid. And it talks about how I got into doing these videos and why I do these videos. And yeah, it was pretty trippy. I mean, for a number of reasons. As the article talks about, I used to be a newspaper reporter myself, and I worked for the competing newspaper to this one. So I used to wake up every morning with the sole purpose of crushing my competition. Now I am in the competition. So that was pretty cool. And I grew up, as a kid, I delivered this newspaper. And so it's pretty cool. I mean, I guess it's an honor to be featured in your local newspaper in the big weekend edition in a two-page spread. So that was pretty crazy. And the article was pretty good. I liked it. I should have been clearer maybe when talking to Dave about a couple of things, because I gave him the impression that after I graduated high school and it was in university and college, I kind of stopped collecting music, which is not entirely true. I stopped buying records, but I kept buying CDs. But yeah, the article talked about how I got back into vinyl, and it was pretty awesome. So I know I shared it on the Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram. So, but some of you, I'm sure, missed it. So if you're interested in reading the article, I will leave a link below this video. It is behind a firewall, but if you enter your email address, you can probably see it. I know some people overseas said they had issues, so I also took some screen captures and left those on the Channel 33 RPM Facebook page. You can check it out there. Anyway, thank you, Free Press, and thank you, Dave Sanderson, for doing this story. I thought it was awesome. I'm probably going to frame this and hang it on the wall. So that was absolutely the highlight, or one of the highlights of the past month.
Love vinyl? Tell the world with a Channel 33 RPM t-shirt. Check out the Channel 33 RPM store today.
Okay, I want to talk about a couple of records I picked up. And both of these bands were new to me, and they're probably new to you, but I can't say enough good about them. The first one is this band called Ian Blurton's Future Now, and this record is called Second Skin. So back over the Christmas break, I went to one of my local record stores, High Tone Records in Selkirk, and I was talking to Steve, the owner, and someone else is in the store, and they were talking about this band and this record and spinning it, and they recommended it. So I don't really do many blind buys anymore just because of the price of records. So I said, okay, I'll check them out. And I drove home and listened to this album on Spotify. And as soon as I got home, or a day later or something, I texted or I sent a message to the record store and said, if you have any more of those, save a copy for me, because it was excellent. So if you're like me and you're not familiar with Ian Blurton, he has been part of Toronto's indie music scene since the early 1980s. He was the original drummer in the Cowboy Junkies. He was the vocalist and guitarist in 1990s alt band Change of Heart. And he is a well-known Canadian producer. He's worked with Rio Statics, The Weaker Thans, and a whole bunch of other bands. So I gotta say, this is one of the best releases, best rock albums I've purchased in a long time. The music is kind of hard psych, hard prog. There's elements of traditional hard rock, maybe a little bit of metal. Side 2 in particular, I can hear some like late 80s Voivod, some early Soundgarden. The verse on the title track, Second Skin, the riff maybe reminds me a little bit of the Foo Fighters. You get it. That's generally the sound of this band, or at least this record. It took me a few listens to really wrap my head around it though, but it is very, very good. I love the way Ian takes these really cool, odd riffs and weaves them into these unusual yet catchy, concise, and really rockin' tunes. It is masterfully done. The production is great. The guitars sound great. The drums sound great. And that may have something to do in part by where it was recorded. And this really surprised me. This was recorded using the Rolling Stones Mobile Studio. I had no idea the Stones Mobile was still a thing. And I was even more surprised to learn where it is. It's been fully restored. It's a fully functioning recording studio today located in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And any band can rent it out and use it. If you're not familiar with the Rolling Stones Mobile, it was built for the Stones back in the late 60s, and a ton of classic albums were recorded using the Mobile Studio, including most of Led Zeppelin's third album, as well as most of Led Zeppelin 4. What else? The Rolling Stones' Sticky Fingers and Exile on Main Street, and of course the Rolling Stones Mobile is referenced in the Deep Purple song Smoke on the Water, so maybe some of the vibes from the history of that studio that reflect on this. I don't know. Artwork is kind of cool, again, kind of psychedelic, and that kind of reflects the music that is on this album. So I can't recommend it enough. Check them out on the streaming services. The record is available on their Bandcamp. I'm not sure if High Tone Records here still has any more copies, but you can also check with them. Again, the album's called Ian Blurton's Future Now, Second Skin. All right, here's another band that was new to me, but it's so good. This band is called Bat Fangs. So I was on Bandcamp and I was looking for something, and this came up as a recommended artist to check out. I thought, man, with a name like Bat Fangs, it's gonna be good. So anyway, I streamed them and checked it out, and yeah, I really liked it. So again, I ordered these through High Tone Records, but it's available on Bandcamp and other places as well. This is a two-piece band from the US East Coast, two women, drums plus guitar, vocals, but they have other musicians on the records playing bass and keyboards and whatnot. Let's talk about Bat Fangs, Queen of My World. I believe this one was released in 2021. The music is garage rock meets hair rock. It's part Runaways, part Sunset Strip. The band describes their sound as acid-soaked 80s hard rock, which is, all right, that makes sense. The title track, Queen of My World, I really dig the riff on that one. It's kind of the Sabbath-like thing going on, a Tony Iommi kind of thing. My favorite track, though, has got to be Talk Tough. That one has a bit of a Pat Benatar, hit me with your best shot vibe. Are these two virtuosos? Not at all, man. It's three chords, but super catchy, really good. And this was their debut album, self-titled, from 2018. 9 tracks. This one's at 45 RPM, which kind of threw me off when I threw it on the turntable the first time. It's on pink vinyl. This first one, I think this one's on yellow vinyl. Yeah, that one's on yellow vinyl. This one's a bit more raw. The self-titled's a bit more raw and in your face. It's rock, R-A-W-K, that's how I describe it, but still very grounded in the 1980s. Definitely a band worth checking out, Bat Fangs, Queen of My World, and self-titled. All right, 33ers, what have you been listening to over the past month or two? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I'll be back again real soon. Until then, keep on spinning.